Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. I was going through the comment section. I made a comment in one of my videos about a full send. A full send, we use that in racing when you go out on the course and you just send it. It's a full send. Like you send it and you leave nothing on the table left. And I referred to that in one of my videos for investments where I said I did a full send. It was a highly leveraged company in a highly leveraged sector where the value was completely taken out. And I'm going to show you a bunch of companies. I put together a quick presentation from my old presentations of market updates on some of the companies that I consider doing a full send on. They were very cheap. They're right at their bottom of their channels, and that's where I loaded up. This was mainly in October of last year. There was a couple of other areas that I loaded up on some companies. But these were my, I would say, time frames of where I made an initial position. And I call it doing a full send. Now, the sectors that I did full sends in, it's uranium and oil. Those are the two most highly leveraged, and natural gas. Oil, natural gas, and uranium. They're the most leveraged commodity of any commodity against gold. So in this commodity bull market, in my opinion, you're going to see some companies in oil and uranium probably go up the most of anything. Although there are companies in silver, there's companies probably in copper that are going to do incredibly well all over the area, all over the place. Any of these sectors, you could have insanely good returns. But historically, the price of the commodity itself has done the best in uranium and oil based off of the ratios where they were at that time and what they could compress to. So I saw the biggest opportunities in oil and still in uranium of any of the sectors. So I'm going to go in and show you the charts that I was looking at real time and what the heck I was doing. So I consider this one the full send presentation. So the first one was Global Atomic. This was back in October, late October of 2020. It was creating this nice pattern here. And what I liked about it is the volume was massive compared to what it was before. We had this nice big pull up and it was doing a consolidation period inside of this flag pattern. I'm like, this is going to be huge. So if you zoom in, it had two little down days, and this is where I was buying it at 43 cents on October 29th, 2020. So that's where I did a full send. I said, I got to load up here, buy some shares, and hold on. And I also moved money into Fission Uranium Corporation on October 27th. I was doing it all at the end of October and beginning of November. It came down and just touched this line right here. And I was like, I got to buy the heck out of a Fission. So I bought a lot of Fission. If you guys were listening to the channel, I'm sure you probably heard me say it's probably a good time to buy some. I think it may even have broke sideways or down a little more than this and then continued higher. I did a full send on SM Energy October 27th. It was coming down. And over the next week, I bought into SM Energy all throughout this next week. Actually, no, it was right here. I bought it in here. I bought it when it came down. My cost basis was $1.50. SM Energy is an oil company. They have a lot of debt, and they tried to basically bankrupt them down here. And it went to $1. Someone got it at $1. That's a really good price. But it came back up, it came back down, and I was lucky enough to see this, and I started loading into it. Then 2 days later, check this out. We got the big bullish engulfing pattern, and I was like, because we got it right here at the tip, I was like, oh my God, it's game on. So I started adding in even more. So I bought in at this bottom here, and here, and here, and here. I bought in all over here. I just kept cost averaging in. So that was one that I did a full send on, which is a very highly leveraged company. Because if you look at this left-hand side, I mean, this thing went straight down. It was just getting completely sold off. So I realized, one, that if you look at these buyers coming in, you can see these big, huge up days all through here. See this big up day? It was like, ooh, this thing's got a bunch of energy in it. Look at the up days, and then look at the slow leak off of sellers here. This was just a big consolidation period. And most of the time what happens is you'll see this pull up off the bottom, where it pulls up off the bottom here, and then it leaks off all the way back to about the same spot, very close to it. And it was slightly higher, which means that it's favorable for the buyers. It's probably going to go up. So that's where I loaded in. I got the nice big bullish engulfing. I got super excited, guys. I was October 29th. I couldn't even sleep at night. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so big. And because I hardly ever see these setups, and with it going down as fast as it did, I thought it could go up pretty quick. Now here's Birchcliff Energy. I know a couple guys on the channel and myself. I said, guys, this is it. We broke the downtrend October 29th, and it's back testing. I'm like, this is where you buy it. This is where you load up. I think Russell was looking at this. I was looking at it. I was like, man, this thing looks fantastic. So this is one of the companies that I kind of did a full send on. Here's another one. Zoomed in on it. October 27th. Looking fantastic from a short-term perspective. We broke to the upside, and we're back testing on both of these patterns. So that what I call that is a dream within a dream. And when you can find these dreams within a dream, you load up. You load up, and that's what I did. I bought Birchcliff, loaded up when it was $1.44, and the rest is history, I guess. Advantage Oil. I was looking at this one. Kind of a cool pattern here. It kind of came down, did this little V-bottom thing, and then we came up and we're flirting with the top of this pattern here. So I started to buy it in this tip over here. That was another one that was a highly debt company. I did it October 29th, and I started cost averaging in at that time. Yep, there it is. This is what we were looking at when you zoom in. It was creating this pattern, flirting with the top side. I was like, I'm getting in, and I'm going to start cost averaging in. Crew Energy was another one. This one, I was in disbelief when I saw it. Huge downtrend. Look at this downtrend, guys. I mean, this is, I still can't believe I saw this opportunity here. Insane. Broke out, back tested. Buy it on the back test, guys. And then we're coming on up. You zoom in. This is what I saw. And this is when I started cost averaging into it. It was right in here. 27th of October. Big, huge volume. I'm seeing it across the entire oil and gas sector. And I was so excited to see this. I mean, this chart is insanely awesome. And even this setup, it's a dream within a dream. So I started cost averaging in all in the 30s and 40 cents in here. And then here's ARC Resources, AETUF. A shoulder that was developing. It broke to the upside of the downtrend. You just buy the living poop out of it and just hold on. Here's Contango Oil and Gas when I bought it at $1.30. It came on down, and looking at a big picture, it was right at a bottom. There's a couple of bottoms. It was doing a triple bottom. The big up days here and the small down days. Signature traits that the buyers were in control. We had good support here, and I just started buying it at this about $1.30, somewhere in that range. Again, that was the 29th of October. That's when I got really bullish and started rotating money into oil and gas. Now, I own this one too, PENYF, at the same time, 29th October 2020. It was around 65 cents. I actually think this one blew out on the downside, but I didn't put as much money on this one, but it was pretty leveraged. So this was another one that I added some money into. In my 401k in December 9th, I was watching emerging markets. And this is one that I really started to load into over here. And then I think eventually it broke to the upside, and it's kind of chilling up above this right now. I think emerging markets is going to do incredibly well. Here's Encore Energy. So here's another one I did a full send on Encore. I loaded into Encore and SM Energy. Those are the two of my big holdings. I bought it right here in this section down here. One of these 3 days. It was like I think I bought it for 28 cents. 28 cents, 32 cents. I remember buying it. So I bought it like again in here somewhere. And I bought it in another account here, I think. And I was like, this thing's ready to break. I drew it in this way though. When I was looking at it, I drew it in that way, it broke. Then I redrew it again, it broke, and this thing started moving. So I got a really good, decent price on Encore Energy, probably not as good as some others. Forum Energy Metals, I didn't do a full send on this, but I did add it right here in this break. So that was another one I added into just a little bit. This one wasn't a total full send. This was back December 15th. So in October, all those companies were bottoming. It was like right in here. And I bought a bunch. I saw this come up. It created this little pattern and it was breaking to the upside. And I got super excited seeing that. And that's 15th of December. So 15th of December at SM Energy, it already had this big run. And guess what it's creating? It was creating a cup and handle pattern right in here. And the projected move is from $1.50 to here, which would put it all the way up past $15. But then I was also looking at this saying it could create another cup, big old cup and handle pattern up here. And I was like, man, this thing could be one of the biggest moves in the fastest periods of time that I'll ever see. So that was one I was really excited about in December. I already loaded in all in here, this little section in there before the run up. Another one, and I couldn't find my big chart where I drew the downtrend line, and I bought QEP right in here is where I bought a bunch of QEP. I loaded, this is a full send on QEP, just like it was the same position size as SM Energy. And I was mad that they got bought out, but there's nothing I can do. But I bought in at like $1.25 maybe, like right in here maybe. And then it was coming on up. And I was like, ooh, this is good. This is creating a large cup and handle. Or you could say this was the cup and this is a handle. And then it broke to the upside, but Fang bottom, unfortunately. Rio Tinto was one I did a full send on. Now, this wasn't like max leverage, though. I just did a lot on this, and I actually bought it right on the breakout here. And that's where I bought that one. Tellurian, this was another one that I put and shared with the entire channel. I bought this one at 90 cents in here when someone first said it, and then I bought it again over here at $1.30. And I got a pretty good amount there. I did a really big full send on this one. I think my original, man, I'm trying to think. In all the accounts, I might have put 20 grand in it or more. And it went way up after this. So that was one that I shared with the channel as well. Southwestern Energy, I loaded up when this broke the downtrend in late 2020, just to show you. It broke it. It was hanging out, and I bought it like 270, 280, to somewhere in there. And I bought a lot of SWN. Contango, just to show you kind of the progress of it. So I bought it right here at $1.30. And it's coming up, and we were testing this downtrend line. So that was good. Reconnaissance Africa. So I bought this one right on this break up here when someone mentioned it. I think it was like $1.75 that I got it. It never actually back tested. So I bought it in here. I bought it again in here. I bought it all in this little section here. And then it just started moving under big volume there. Great looking pattern though. I like the break. Actually, I'm trying to think. I might have bought it before it broke out because this is RECO. I bought RECAF. I can't remember when I bought it. $1.75 and $2.50. I know that, but that's different pricing than RECO. Now here's SM Energy, just to show you the big picture view. This was the COVID sell-off that brought it to just ridiculously low valuations. This is a pattern. And if you guys look today, we broke out of this. We're at 25, 26, I think. No, 25 or 26 is where we're at. We broke out of this pattern that I have drawn here. So we are breaking out of this massive pattern, basing pattern. This could easily run very much higher than where I bought down here. So that's good. But this, I was getting super excited for breaking, coming back up in here. We created another cup, kind of a cup bowl shape pattern. I was getting real excited. Now, Centennial Development, I bought this one twice. I did a full send on CDEV. I put a good stake in this guy. Here's the downtrend line. I bought it right here, I think, on this day here. I bought a bunch. Or maybe, no, that's $1. No, I bought it like right in here. Because I didn't get it as SM Energy. I got a little bit behind it and I bought it like in here. It was like $1. Maybe I bought it like $1.50 or so, or $1.25. I bought a good amount there. I bought another good amount when it hit this right in here. I bought a bunch, $1.66 or something. And then I've left it. And it created this nice cup and handle pattern, which I shared on the channel, and I shared this on the channel as well at this time, saying it's a good one. Tetra Technologies, I did a full send at 50 cents right here. This is a highly leveraged in-debt company, and I thought it could easily get back to $2, and then I think we're at $4. We broke out of this downtrend here. We're actually up here. I still hold everything I own. I put a lot in this one at 50 cents in one of the accounts. I didn't realize how much I put in. I actually trimmed some of that position at, I think it was $3.50 or $4 or something, because it got massive. I mean, just massive. I think I didn't realize how much I put in there. I think it was something, I don't know, like 10 grand or something. And 10 grand at 50 cents, and this thing's pretty highly leveraged. I was like, oh man, I diversified a little bit, but I kept the majority of it in it. And here's Chevron. I was charting this out, and my dad was buying some, so I think he did a full send on this one right here at $95. I don't know what it is at right now. First Majestic, this was one that I loaded up on. I bought it over here, and honestly, guys, I do think silver's being manipulated, but and gold, and I think they're manipulating oil higher because JP Morgan does not want gold and silver to go higher, but you can see them you can see them always talking about oil, and they're really pushing oil, JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. So what I've learned over the years is run with whatever Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan says, because when silver started going up, they're like, no, don't, no. They were like basically coming out with articles saying like, it's at a peak, don't buy it, don't do this. Maybe they're right, maybe they are controlling the market, I don't know. Here's McEwen Mining. Nobody was looking at McEwen Mining. It was all the way down here at this tip. I bought some there at 95 or 96 cents, somewhere in that range. So I bought some there, kind of at the bottom here. I did some Mosaic right when it broke this downtrend line. I was buying it like right in this area here. I bought Nevada Copper, but I didn't do a full send on this. I did just a very small amount of money right when it broke this right here. So I bought a little bit right in this breakout. CNX, I bought some there. Deseco Mines, I bought it at $1.35 here, January 20th. Encore Energy, just to show you the chart. I bought it all in this section here, and then it's been moving up, and it was about to break to the upside with all these bullish engulfings everywhere. Rio Tinto, I did a full send right at this top here. I bought it right in here. I bought a lot of it. BHP Group, I bought a buttload in like this section in here, in this upper shoulder coming up. This is a reverse head and shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder. This one's got the shoulder, head, shoulder. They're all exhibiting this reverse head and shoulders. I'm like, this is going to go way higher. And it could go all the way up here, I think. Up to maybe $150, $200 when we were buying it down here. At least. It could even break out of that pattern too. South 32, I bought a bunch right here. There's a pattern here. A little megaphone pattern. It broke to the upside. I bought a bunch right there. And this broke, I think, out of this as well to the upside. Now, Callon Petroleum, this was one that I did a full, not a total full send. I didn't have enough money, but I put a good stake in it, a very good stake. Right at, it was $16.66 is where I bought it, to be exact. I shared it on the channel the day I bought it. So it was this day here that I shared it on February 5th. Someone else brought it up on the channel. Look at this nice bullish engulfing. That would have been a perfect day to buy it. Such an amazing stock. Another bullish engulfing. So that was another one I did a full send on. So those are the ones that I did full sends. Like I didn't show deep yellow. I forgot to put that one in. I did. So the ones that I have full sends on: Deep Yellow, Encore Energy, SM Energy, Centennial Development, CPE, TTI. Let me think. Teuton Resources, Nova Royalty. Nova Royalty. When that one came out, and I was talking with, I think it was, his name's Christian on the channel. He's like, should I buy Nova? I'm like, yes, I think it's a very good one. And we were getting in at $1.30, I think. I got my cheapest cost basis, I think, was $1.19 or $1.09 or something. But I kept buying that. That one's a pretty good stake in Nova. That one I'm doing a full send on. That's not necessarily the most leveraged, but I like what they're doing on a long-term perspective. So there's that one. Oh, base load. I'm overweight in base load, a uranium exploration company. I own a bit in that. So Global Atomic, Goviax, I overweighted that one. I overweighted Bannerman. So there's a lot of uranium here. I overweighted baseload, Bannerman, Encore Energy, Deep Yellow, Goviax. If I say it twice, I'm just trying to go off the top of my head. Global Atomic, I got a good stake in. Fission Uranium, Next Gen Energy, I got those two. I bought Next Gen right when it broke its pattern there at like $1.77, if I can remember right. I bought a good chunk there. The Fission, Next Gen, and I think that's it. For my overweighting ones, I own more than that. I own a whole bunch of the exploration companies like Fission 3.0, Sky Harbor, Canalaska, PurePoint Uranium. PurePoint, I own a little bit. It's an okay stake. I'm forgetting a bunch here, guys. I'm spread out. I got like all of the exploration companies up in Canada I own, and then I own Rig, Transocean. It's not as big of a stake. I own DXPE, not as big of a stake. I own I own a little bit in UEC, but it's like it's not much. There's Mother URG, not much. Not much. Oh, Laramide, I own that. Laramide's kind of in the middle. Not a huge amount, but it's an okay stake. I own Mosaic, MOS. That's a pretty good stake. ADM, I own some in that. Archer Daniels Midland. But that's the majority of my portfolio of my higher risk stuff. I do own Wheaton Precious Metals. I do own, I want to get into a Cisco royalty, more in that one because it broke out of its pattern. EMX, I own that one, a good stake. Franco-Nevada. There's got to be one more. Sandstorm Gold, SAND, I own that one. And they're pretty good amounts. So that's the majority of my portfolio. I'll go over the uranium ones. I'll show you a presentation on that, and you guys can see exactly what I own, and I'll give you my opinions on it. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.